This is a story about marrying David. And our wedding, our first wedding, was just beautiful. Otter Creek Church did our wedding. We were so overwhelmed with working full-time and blending 4 children together into a family that we didn't have time to think about the logistics and the beauty of the wedding. And Otter Creek just scooped us up and took it, and it was absolutely glorious. But then there came another wedding that I didn't anticipate. On David's 50th birthday, which is earlier than mine, we won't say how much earlier, but it's earlier than mine. We had done a party for him and invited friends from high school and relatives and cousins and friends and professional and personal, and the house was full. And I love a full house of friends so much, and he knows that. And of course it had a Halloween decor since it is in October, I'll tell you that much, which David loves very much. So Halloween was a very unique time for special occasions that grew and grew. Well, David didn't really want to do the same thing and have another party. We'd already had the party, and I didn't have the need to have a party. I just really wanted to be with our family. That's my favorite thing, is to be with our family. So I asked David if we could go to St. Simon Island, a favorite spot for our family, and just be together to celebrate my 50th birthday. And he agreed and thought that was good. So we did. And my birthday was toward the end of our vacation time then, and the girls had to leave. They both had to work. Brittany and Lauren was in school taking a German class, as I recall, and Brittany was working. So they had to leave on the morning of my birthday, but I got to see them, and that was good. But then the rest of the day was very odd. Daniel had gone on back to SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design. He had made a trip. He had a class that he needed to go to at Savannah College of Art and Design, and it was quite a drive, hour and a half or something. So he had left, which left when? I thought, well, this is an interesting birthday. I wanted to be with family, and they're all leaving. But then more odd things began to happen, and as I've always said, David is quite magical, and when odd things begin to happen, you know there's something brewing. You just don't have a clue as to what it is. And he was on his cell phone a lot, out on the balcony of the condominium we were staying in, and every time the phone would ring, he would get it, and that's not like him on vacation. So I kept thinking, what is going on? We had done the family picture the night before, you know, the standard family picture on the beach with everybody dressed in white. And Lauren kept wanting me not to wear what I had planned to wear out to dinner for my birthday. It was black with an ivory net. She says, why don't you wear the white dress again? Because it's full of wet sand. I'm not wearing it again. She was disappointed. All of these things were very odd. We got Lauren to the airport, and Brittany, and Daniel went. Everybody disappeared. But then Daniel called and said, I'm almost there. I'm back. And he came. Well, as he said that, David had put a suit on in a garbage bag, hanging in a garbage bag, so I couldn't see it. I had no idea we had brought a suit with us. And I said, oh, David, you don't need to wear a suit at the beach, not even to a fancy restaurant. You know, it's not beach wear. And he looked at me straight in the eye and said, it is for me. I'm wearing a suit. It's your birthday. So he put the suit on. I put my outfit on. And Daniel got in right about the same time, and he said he and Wynn would go get good seats, make reservations, make sure we had good seats at the restaurant, which is what I thought we were doing. So they left, and we got in the car, and we're driving, and St. Simon is not that large of a place, and we wound up across the way from a lighthouse that has a gazebo right beside it. And we always, that's one of our traditional places to go, is to the lighthouse and to the gazebo inside, because it's right there on the water, right on the ocean, and the sunsets are glorious, and it's just beautiful, and there's such a sense of history about it. So he pulled over to the side and parked the car, and I said, what are we doing here? You know, we've got dinner. And he said, I just thought it'd fun to come and walk around. I said, but we've already been here and walked around. We've done that part. Well, I just want to do it again. Well, knowing David, I thought I'd better get out and do it again. He came and opened the door for me, and we started walking. And as we got closer, I realized there was tulle hanging all around the gazebo, like a wedding. I said, oh, David, we can't go. We'll be interrupting a wedding. And he said, well, let's just go watch. And then across the way, I saw Wynn and Daniel, and they were there too. And I thought that was even more bizarre, that somehow there had been a hookup there. And as we got closer in, you said, Joan, there's someone here I want you to meet. And over comes a minister wearing a black robe, and around it, the shawl has children hanging on it, holding hands on it. And he introduced me to her. For the life of me, I can't tell you her name now, but it doesn't really matter to the story. And he said, she is going to help us renew our wedding vows for your 50th birthday. Never in a million years would I have expected that. Never in a million years. So I started crying, and I looked around, and there were flowers everywhere. She handed me a bouquet, a beautiful bouquet with hydrangeas, which I also adore. And she conducted a beautiful wedding service. The boys were there, and they had it all set with the girls that when the wedding was going to start, when the vows would start, they would call them. So there the boys are standing as groomsmen on the sides, and they've got the girls on the phone, holding up the phone so they can hear everything that's going on and be a part of the celebration. The minister did a beautiful job of the wedding, and one of the things that David and I have reflected on frequently is she had us look out into the ocean, and the sun was going down. And she said, isn't it beautiful? It's just beautiful. And you've been married long enough to know that much of life is just beautiful. But there come those times. They're really, really hard. And when you come to those times, they're really, really hard. I want you to go back to what you're looking at right now and remember there is so much beauty. Well, that's my philosophy of life. And she just spoke it, and I had just met her. And it was a really, really wonderful time. There was a professional photographer. David had arranged to get pictures, so I have a whole album of photos. One of the women who helped pull it all together had also made arrangements for a cake at the restaurant where we had reservations. So we went and we had a wonderful dinner, but David had given instructions not to order dessert. And after we finished, it was just a small restaurant, but there were still several people in it. And all of a sudden, doors to the kitchen open, and out rolls a wedding cake, a short wedding cake. I think it's probably about 3 little tiers, with 50 candles on it, so that it met both celebration occasions. And they were all ablaze. And the audience in the restaurant began to sing happy birthday to me. But it was odd that it was on a wedding cake at the same time. So I think they had been clued in by the management about what was going on. So we cut the cake. That was both my birthday cake and our wedding cake again. And we shared it with everyone who was in the restaurant so that they could share in our joy. That's always been important to me, is to share the joy of life and how loving and wonderful it can be. And it certainly has been for me.